There is nothing more terrible in the world than eternal happiness. Fear the people whose God is in heaven. Man is like a brick, he becomes harder when he is baked. Now that we have learned to fly in the air like birds and swim under water like fish, the only thing missing is to learn to live on earth like humans. The world is made up of lazy people who want money without working, and fools who are willing to work without getting rich. There is no love more sincere than the love of food. There is nothing more dangerous than a poor doctor. 2% of people think, 3% think they think. And 95% of people would rather die than think. My way of joking is to tell the truth. Nothing in the world is funnier. The secret of success is to tell the truth. The secret of success is to outrage as many people as possible. Don't destroy old traditions before new ones are created. People who can have fun don't have money. And people who have money can't have fun. Sometimes you have to make people laugh to keep them from hanging them. Being able to endure loneliness and find joy in it is a great gift. Life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Try to get what you love. Otherwise you have to love what you get. The greatest danger that children need to be protected from is their parents. A reasonable person adapts to the world. An unreasonable person tries to adapt the world to himself. That is why progress always depends on the unreasonable. Those who can, do. Those who cannot, teach others. Democracy is a balloon that floats above your head and lets you look up, while other people rummage in your pockets. It's easier to live with a passionate woman than a boring one. True, sometimes they get strangled, but rarely left. Money is not made in the bright light. To live long, you have to think about it when you're young. The house is a prison for the man and a workhouse for the woman. There are two tragedies in life. One is not reaching your most desired goal. The other is to achieve it. Revolutions have never lightened the burden of tyranny. They have only shifted it from one shoulder to the other. A newspaper is a printed organ that sees no difference between a fall from a bicycle and the collapse of civilization. Night brings rest for the old and hope for the young. A person with a toothache thinks everyone who doesn't have a toothache is happy. The poor man makes the same mistake about the rich. I thought friends were lost in quarrels, but they just dissolve in time. Why should someone else size me up when I can do it myself? I just wanted myself to be able to fall in love. I wanted myself to be able to fall in love. Behind every great man there is always a woman who believed in him and loved him sincerely. Before they pour out their soul, they make sure the vessel is not leaking. The things that interest men most do not concern them at all. Don't wash a cat or it will stop washing itself. Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you want. You wish for what you imagine. And finally you create what you desire. If you start with self-sacrifice for those you love, you will end up hating those to whom you have sacrificed yourself. The greatest sin towards our fellow man is not hatred, but indifference. That is the pinnacle of inhumanity. We have no right to consume happiness without producing it. Indecency can be found in every book, with the exception of the telephone directory. When you read a biography, remember that the truth is never fit for publication. The ideal husband is a man who believes he has the ideal wife. Being sincere is not dangerous, especially if you are additionally stupid. Love at first sight can be trusted about as much as a diagnosis at the first handshake. Martyrdom is the only way to become famous without having any talent. Hate is a coward's revenge for the horror he feels. A thief is not the one who steals, but the one who steals is caught. If you ever find this in the pursuit of happiness, you will find it. Like the old woman who was looking for her glasses, that happiness was on her nose the whole time. Nose all the time. Getting older is boring, but it is the only way to live long. The only lesson to be learned from history is that people don't learn lessons from history. The only one who acted sensibly was my tailor. He took new measurements every time he saw me, while everyone else came with old measurements and expected me to fit them. To learn to speak is to grow. Learning to be silent means becoming wise. Alcohol is an anesthetic that allows you to endure the operation called life. Titles and ranks are invented for those whose services to the country are unquestionable, but unknown to the people of this country. Reputation is a mask to be worn, just like pants or a jacket. A person who believes in nothing fears everything. Optimists make dreams come true, pessimists make nightmares come true. Perfect love is only possible in correspondence. Never point out mistakes if you don't know how to fix them. The only way to learn something is to do something. If you can't get rid of the skeleton in your closet, make it dance. A long lack of sex makes a man a neurotic. The secret of our unhappiness is that we have time to think about whether we are happy or not. Life doesn't stop being funny when we die, and it doesn't stop being serious when we laugh. Life doesn't stop being funny when we laugh.